What's up, everybody? This is Jed Johnson from DieselCrew.com. Of course, you know they call me Napalm. They've been calling me Napalm since before 2008. And 2008 is the year that we're going to look at in this post by David Horne that I copied and pasted into a notes document probably over a year ago. But I wanted to show you some of the stuff that went on in 2008. David Horne is an outstanding historian when it comes to strength sports and especially grip sport. And I thought I would just go ahead and read this. I did have a picture to go along with it, and I cannot find it. So I'm just going to go ahead and read this and give details when needed. So, Blast from the Past, 2008. Outside of the contest already mentioned previously, here's a list of the top threes around the world. The Mohegan Sun Grand Prix Strongman contest featured the World Rolling Thunder Championships in January of this year, with Mark Felix taking the victory with a 301-pound lift. See photo, which I don't have. Chad Woodall again featured very well this year, winning the U.S. Grip Champs, which had qualifiers this year via totals and live contests. And we still do it the same way all the way up to 2024. You have to finish well in a sanctioned competition, and now you can submit videos of lifts showing that you lifted a certain weight on qualifying lifts. You can also attain certain totals. You can do certain feats. And all that information will be in the description box so that you can see how you can become qualified for national competition in the United States. Chad also repeated his backyard Bastard Bash win before separating the powerful Rich Williams and Tex Henderson at the Santa Claus contest run by Richard Soren. So, 2006 and 7, I went to the Backyard Bastard Bash. That was run by John Beatty, who was the original owner of Fat Bastard Barbell Company, and he was in Posodum, Illinois. I don't believe Chad attended the 2006. He did attend the 2007, and that was his first victory. And then obviously he attended in 2008 and won. And then that year was the Santa Claus contest that was hosted by Richard Soren at Sorenex. Going back to David's writing, many strong Americans were on show this year, with the likes of contest veterans Jed Johnson, Dave Thornton, being joined by the relative newcomers Andrew Derniat, Aaron Corcoran, Eric Milfeld, Paul Knight, Rex Hubbard, Brian Shaw, and the previously mentioned Williams and Henderson. So, myself and Dave Thornton used to battle quite a bit at grip contests. These days, he doesn't seem to travel for contests, although I do see his name in the list of some competitions, specifically King Kong of Grip. But David is correct. Andrew Derniat burst onto the scene in 2008. That was probably right around the time Aaron Corcoran got involved. I would disagree with Eric Milfeld. He didn't bust on the scene in 2008. He was involved in grip before I got involved. So he actually used to run a competition called the Grip Bash on the grip board, and it was like a virtual meet. So he was definitely a leader in grip sport back when I first got involved. Paul Knight came in around this time. His background was climbing and arm wrestling. Rex Hubbard was a very strong dude who didn't stick around for a long time, but he accomplished several impressive things while he was involved. And I'm not sure who this Brian Shaw guy is. Just kidding. That's obviously the retired professional strongman Brian Shaw. This is when he came onto the scene and began, putting videos out and things like that. And then Rich Williams and Tex Henderson are just huge, strong individuals from down around South Carolina, and we don't see much from them anymore. New contests were being run now in Spain, with it being won by Jose Jara, who had traveled to our British champs the year before, and I don't know much about Jose. Also, Australia had a good set of contests being promoted too. So we can look at some of the standings. U.S. Grip Championships 2008. There was a Kansas City qualifier where we saw Josh Dale, Ben Edwards, and Brad Mannion finish top 3. There was a last chance qualifier where Andrew Derniat took first, Brent Barbie took second, and Rosario Cusenza took third. Pacific Grip Off qualifier, Robert Alva won, Robbie took second, and then third place was Joe Barker. And then the final of the U.S. Grip Championships saw Chad Woodall, myself in second place, and Andrew Derniat. That was probably the last time I beat Andrew Derniat, or at least finished ahead of Andrew Derniat in a competition for several years. The Backyard Bastard Bash, number 4, was first place Chad Woodall, second place John Beatty, third place Dave Thornton. The Gripmas Carol, this was the second one ever held in 2008. In the open class, I came out on top. Dave Thornton was second. John Eaton was third. John was an infrequent training partner of mine, but a driving partner of mine for several years. We used to go all over the place, including out to Illinois for Backyard Bastard Bash, Gripmas, out in Ohio. We went to Boston area one time, up in Massachusetts, to a competition. And at Gripmas, there was a lightweight category where Chris Rice took first, Bob Lipinski took second, and Scott George took third. Santa Claus Grip Get Together. This was at Sorinex. Rich Williams took first, Chad Woodall second, and Tex Henderson third. The Michigan Grip Champs. Number 6, Dave Thornton took first. I took second. Josh Dale took third. TPS Grip Assault. There you go. I made this trip with John Eaton. And in this particular contest, I almost set the world record in the 2-hands pinch, but there was an equipment malfunction. All the plates slid off the front of the pipe, and it resulted in my attempt being null and void. But I won the comp. Brendan Dwyer finished second. Josh McCann finished third. The Show of Hands Grip Cup, number 3, which I believe was in Arizona, but I could be wrong. Aaron Corcoran took first against Eric Milfeld in second and Paul Knight third. Arizona Cactus Grip. Oh, you know what? Show of Hands was actually probably in Texas, and it was probably run by Eric and Paul. Sorry about that. Arizona Cactus Grip Showdown. Aaron Corcoran won. Derek Graybill took second. Rex Hubbard took third. Arizona Summer All-Comers. Saw Aaron Corcoran finish first, Paul Knight second, and Derek Graybill take third. The World Rolling Thunder Championships. Saw Mark Felix take first. Ode Haugen. Looks like maybe he tied for second with Carl Gillingham, Brian Shaw, and Terry Hollins. The German Grip Comps had Gabriel Sum at the top, Stefan Falka in second, and Timo Soten in third place. The Swiss Grip Comp, first place David Herzler, second place Frank Henritze, and third place Andre Yenen. Spanish Grip Champs. Man, I'd love to see Spain get back involved. I'm going to have to try to track down some of these Spanish competitors. Jose Jara in first place, Jorge Gonzalez in second place, y Pablo Garcia tercero. Capo Victoria Grip Champs in Australia. Titania Rea for the women's class. Dave Stiff in first place. Harley Bailey in second place, and Aaron Monks in third place. And then there must have been 2 of them, because in 2008, James Graham took first, Brendan Downs took second, and Tomislav Basic took third. And I don't recognize any of these names by memory except for James Graham. So I'm wondering if they're still doing grip at all. We do have lots of grip sport competitions in Australia. Be cool to get some of those guys involved again. Melbourne and that might be mispronounced Melbourne. I'm not sure. Iron Grip Champs, David Stiff, Chris Moore, and James Graham, first through third. J&B Grip Series Challenge. Look at this. All kinds of competitions in Australia. Ivan Zavko, Tom Basic, and Brendan Dowes. That was for double overhand axle, 2-end pinch. Brandon Dowes, Tom Basic, Ivan Zavko. 2008 Vulcan and one-hand lift. I don't really know how this was being contested. Ivan Zavko, Tom Basic, Tristan Woods. And on the Rolling Thunder was James Graham, Tristan Woods, and Tom Basic. And the Victorian Grip Comp in 2008 saw James Graham take first, Brendan Dowes take second, and Tomislav Basic take third. And like I said, some of these names I recognize, others I don't. But just a little piece of grip history from 2008. Thanks to David Horne for posting this. I think I asked him for permission. If not, I'm sorry, but I give all the credit to David. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe, and all the best in your training. Take care.